Messi is in the MLS. Times are changing,
Mm.
but if he's not present, the ticket sales go down, and the chances of Inter Miami winning a cup go down too, because the difference from the Leagues Cup to the Open Cup, it's Lionel Messi playing. Clearly.
Yep.
Clearly. It was not a tougher matchup. It was just that the Inter Miami team didn't have Messi, and that's all it takes. The best player ever in the MLS not to play.
Yeah, and here, it might change things. It certainly disrupts the narrative of going worst to first. And they've, all in all, I still view his introduction to American soccer as being overwhelmingly successful. Yes, ticket prices go down, right? I mean, the market is the market. If Messi's not playing, don't care. Busquets is human without Messi, without Jordi Alba, for sure. When it comes down to it, though, this is still an overwhelmingly positive introduction here. And for those that don't know what Alex is alluding to here, it looks like Leo Messi will be ending the season very likely due to a hamstring tear that he got on international duty, and then aggravated even further when he played that 35-minute cameo in that big win at home. So it sounds like if Inter Miami is going to do it, do the improbable, go from worst to first, which the worst part has nothing to do with Messi because he wasn't here for it. It's going to take a whole lot. So it doesn't seem like it's going to happen this season. And I'm going to paint it. I'm here to paint it in a very positive light. Let the man rest. In fact, give it your best college try moving forward with Busquets. But Alba is hurt too. And a lot of these players are getting vital experience trying to win these games without him, and their confidence levels are still massive with him even around. You're talking about Benjamin Kramaski. You're talking about David Ruiz. You're talking about Noah Allen. These are Facundo Farias and Tomas Alvarez. But the Messi effect has started. It is only just beginning, and my hope is that he gets healthy, because when he does get healthy and Alba gets healthy, Inter Miami, I am saying this with no problems and no reservations in my heart, are obviously MLS Cup favorites. They're obviously MLS Cup favorites. So when it comes down to it, I don't like being right that him playing every 3 days is just not fair to a 35, 36-year-old, even if he is getting paid the money he's getting paid. But when it comes down to it, he will be able to have Miami will be able to have a much better team around him next year. I'm hoping that this starts. Messi's arrival starts the process of opening up those purse strings so that they don't just bring in star players, right? They bring in players that provide for depth, because we're at the point where Major League Soccer is playing up to 50 fixtures a year, right? And they still only have a roster of about 30 players, okay? And they have to dip into their academy or whatever. There needs to be more roster flexibility so that you don't need to put so much of a burden on Messi, on anyone else in the league. We can talk about all the other teams as well. But when it comes down to it, a healthy Messi, a better roster construction, and more open purse strings for all the teams next season because of higher eyeballs brought in thanks to Messi. It is going to be absolutely massive. So Inter Miami, fans and Messi fans, if you're looking at this as, a opportunity missed, he got you guys the League's Cup. He got the first trophy in Inter Miami history. I see that as an absolutely overwhelming positive. They lost the Open Cup final without him, and I think they're not going to make the playoffs, and I think that that's okay. Collect your players, collect your supporters, and get ready for this next season, because I think Inter Miami can do exactly what FC Cincinnati has done, which is FC Cincinnati is the first team to go from the bottom of MLS to the top of MLS and win the Supporters Shield within however many years. So kudos to them for doing that, but watch out next season. Inter Miami is coming, and they're coming in hot.
The best team in the MLS when everybody's fully fit. I completely agree with you. And you said it, yes, because the MLS is competing against the world. And I say Brasileiro is ahead of the MLS, and that's no surprise. No surprise. And any top European league is ahead of Brasileiro. So the way I see it is you got to improve the rosters, yes, and the pitches, mate. The AstroTurf pitches, to be in display in the MLS is embarrassing for a player like Messi. The fact that you
I
have
agree.
an AstroTurf pitch shows poor quality thinking about the football in display. And I think
Yeah.
he's going to have a positive change towards those little things and even quality of managers. I believe there's going to be a better turnover with managers coming in the next 3 years with the World Cup coming to the United States. So a
Sure.
lot of positives on that sense. And yeah, it's a case of time. It's a case of time because we're going to have answers if Messi will play more because I don't think he's fully out. Maybe I'm being hopeful here, but I think Messi, he gets a part of that Apple deal. He gets a part of the Adidas deal. It's commission based.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
do see him as a front runner to the sales. And a lot of people now might have canceled their Apple TV because Messi ain't playing. So I don't know the stats. I don't know I don't know the numbers, but what I do know is when Messi was playing for Inter Miami and he was subbed off,
Yeah.
people were leaving the stands. And it was not
I'm with
just one or two. It was thousands. Thousands maybe.
Yeah.
So if he's not playing, thousands won't turn up. So let's wait and see. And I think the
but-
league will try to make him play. Like you in the NBA, some players have to play 82 or
Yeah,
80
yeah,
or
no,
whatever it is. I
yeah,
think this is the
And
case.
I'm gonna say something here that beyond Messi has had a collateral effect in the sense that Messi's arrival isn't just about Messi's influence on Inter Miami because supporters leaving an Inter Miami game because Messi has gone off the pitch, that says more about Inter Miami's supporters so far. I know they have a very, very, very strong supporters group, so I'm not knocking them. But it's more about the player than it is about the club there. But what Messi has done indirectly is, I guarantee you, and I don't know if there's metrics to prove this, but they have created and solidified the supporters of every other MLS club, especially the strongest ones. The Philadelphia Union, FC Cincinnati. I mean, you are talking about a fandom that is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger because it's less about Messi coming. It's like, we got to be the ones to beat Messi. We got to be the ones to exact for change in this league so that we can build rosters that can compete not just with Messi, but also with Liga MX, also with those Brasilia Real clubs, also with, you know what I'm trying to say here. So I really do think that beyond that, yeah, they might lose a little money due to only Messi fans losing their or getting rid of their MLS Extra Pass or whatever the heck it's called, season pass. But in the end, I think it also creates and makes every other franchise in Major League Soccer much stronger, just having a guy like Messi to make everybody else up their game. So I hope that continues because it certainly happened for Houston. Houston went down to the U.S. Open Cup. They largely, for the first half of this year, not MLS Cup, the U.S. Open Cup, they went down to Fort Lauderdale to play Miami, and they had to beat a Messi-less squad, a Jordi Alba squad, but they had to do it knowing that they have been largely for the first half of the season not a very good squad, and now the second half of the season, Hector Herrera is one of the best players in the league. I hate to say this about another Mexican player because I've already said two nice things about Mexican players, but Hector Herrera and Houston Dynamo and Ben Olsen, they played really, really good football to beat this Miami team at home. So it is just another example of, I believe, the indirect effect of Messi on the rest of the league. So I think Inter Miami is going to be fine. I think they're going to move into their stadium in a couple years and it's going to be gorgeous and it's going to level up this whole league and Messi will be a big part of it, even if he doesn't do it from a playing perspective, say a year and a half or 2 years from now. I think it's still going to jumpstart Major League Soccer as a massive destination for other players, not 35 or 38-year-olds, more so like 21-year-olds. 22-year-olds looking for that stepping stone. And I am here for every second of it. But the first thing that needs to happen this offseason is purse strings have got to open. Exactly. There needs to be more roster spots. And you are 100% correct. There needs to be an outlaw on AstroTurf, even if it is an NFL owner that owns the MLS team, right? There just needs to be. You got to protect the players if you're going to throw them into the meat grinder.
It's
right?
An MLS. No, exactly, mate. You cannot do that. It's embarrassing. I think the injury likelihood of getting an injury on AstroTurf is like more than 50% more. So you are
Probably.
injuring your players that the more time they play, the better for you. So you lose. So I completely agree. And two things too that kind of have an influence in the MLS is the headquarters of the Argentina Federation will be in Miami. And the other thing too is FIFA is going to open a new headquarters, which a lot of people are going from Switzerland to Miami to live. Okay, and this is bringing, I think, 200 more jobs to Miami from FIFA. So FIFA is thinking in U.S. soil. So that is a huge effect. And yes, let us know, what are you thinking with Messi? What are you thinking on the MLS? And do you think that Inter Miami will reach the MLS playoffs? That is the big question. And don't forget to like this video.